I'm going to describe it as the Kennedy-Graham or the Graham-Kennedy proposal. Did you hear what I said? As we started to, Senator Daschle and I started to working with the group and listening to them and getting right to the heart of the problem, comments by Senator Graham, followed by Senator Kennedy, actually revealed the way for us to proceed. And I think it can be described in two ways. We now have the drafters working on it, and it is this, that we will go forward with what I think is, in effect, the first three phases of the process that is basically outlined in both the Lieberman and the Gorton proposals as they now stand, with no preclusion of witnesses and no inclusion of witnesses. But when we have heard the case being put on by both sides, what their needs are, what their thinking is with regard to the witnesses, when we get to that point, we will make the decision then as to how to go forward with or without witnesses and what witnesses would be involved or called or not. And another very important ingredient, and this is point two, there's a feeling of concern about wanting to make sure we know who these witnesses are, what will they testify to, how will we deal with potentially salacious material. So we're going to designate a bipartisan group of senators, either 2 or 3 from both sides. We talked just about 2, for a total of 4, to sit down with the senior staff and to look at exactly how, if any way is possible and necessary, that we can clarify what would be involved in calling as witnesses and how their testimony would be handled. We don't think that should be left for some later day or when we get there. We're going to begin that process now. Now, there are many questions you could ask about those two things. We're going now to our conferences to clarify exactly how that will work. The drafting is beginning right now. Can you add to that?
The only thing I would just ask your indulgence to give us time to write it out. We've just broken up, as you know. We are planning to have a vote sometime in the next 2 hours. Once we've drafted it, we're going to present it obviously to our caucuses, either on the floor or in caucuses, but somehow we're going to have to show our members what it is that we've agreed to here in writing, and then we'll have a vote. But our expectation is that it's going to be an overwhelming bipartisan vote, and until we have the details, we really can't respond to your questions about the details. So let us work on the details, and you'll have a lot more information within the next 2 hours.
We're going to be voting probably between 1 and 2. The bipartisan committee will begin meeting immediately, really. We haven't discussed that yet, so we haven't named the senators. We will be starting next week.